let's make a start, I suppose. So, welcome to Bowtie Sometimes Cool. Myself, Ashley, and Ed. Good evening,
Good
Ed.
morning, Ashley. How are you?
I know I'm just used to saying good evening. I just can't stop it. And Ed's looking and turning his head the same way as everyone
Yeah,
else.
that's
So,
turning to the right and turning to the left there.
yeah,
Up,
but
down.
when you,
Mm,
well, yeah, up down is obviously left,
yeah.
right? Yeah, but when you're turning, oh, it does matter. It's a conversation we had off screen before, and we're also joined by James. Hello, James.
Hello. Hello, how are we doing?
Do you want to go with good morning or good evening? It depends when you're watching this, I guess, really, at the end of the day,
Yeah,
doesn't
good
it?
morning,
Yeah.
afternoon, evening,
Evening.
and night.
Very
Yeah.
good. Very good. And so, surprise, surprise, we're here to talk about something that might be on Ed's screensaver, a Doctor Who spin-off, which I know absolutely nothing about. And I suppose that's in a way the idea of today's because I know you guys would have seen it. So tell me about it. Sell it to me. Sell it to our listeners. How did it come about? I'll tell you what. We'll go to Edward first, as to give a little précis of it.
Okay, so I don't think I'll be on my own in saying I thought this was a spin-off no one wanted, no one needed. I wasn't, didn't, my enthusiasm for it was below zero. I could not really be bothered with it because didn't see the point. Reviews came in, reviews were pretty decent, so I thought, well, I'll give episode one a go. And 10 minutes into episode one, I was completely hooked. Episode two, yeah, absolutely completely hooked. Episode three, I think potentially it was an episode too long. It would have been better as four episodes, but I think it's the best piece of Doctor Who related media that's been on for a good 3 or 4 years, probably since the what was Jodie's last episode called? Jodie's last episode. It's the best bit of Doctor Who related media that's been on TV for me since then. There was I know it's sci-fi fantasy, but it was grounded in reality because yeah, even though it was about humanity meeting, well, Homo sapiens meeting the aquatic previous inhabitants of Earth, it spoke very much about the human condition. It was a satire on environmentalism. It was a satire on that we live in a nation of little Englanders. Rule Britannia, oh, foreigners out. It was a really good satire on that. It was a satire on how the media builds people up, then knocks them down when they're not 100% perfect. I thought the acting was incredible, especially Russell Tovey. He has matured into one of our finest actors, and I think give him an give him another 20, 25 years, he will be on the national treasure, Derek Jacobi, Ian McKellen level, most definitely. I mean, we've as Doctor Who fans, we've seen him go from almost a child actor in some of the episodes of Doctor Who from the first Russell era to a mature adult actor, not an adult actor in that way, but a grown up actor in this era. I'm sure he'll go on to bigger and better things because his character of Barclay was sympathetic, he was believable, and immediately you were on his side because he really was the proverbial everyman, the rabbit caught in the headlights of these wheels of politics which kept rolling and rolling. Where you had the opportunist politicians who saw this as an opportunity to forward their own rather twisted, selfish agenda, and all he wanted to do was just do his job in. He was basically someone who booked the taxis for units, and he, due to an error, he got called up to go on this mission, and I think he just wants to go back to being the man that runs the taxis for unit and not really have this weight of the world, literally the weight of the world on his shoulders. His counterpart from Homo Aqua, I think they called him in this, was Salt, played by Gugu and Mbatha-Raw, completely unrecognizable underneath all the prosthetics there. And again, she was almost his equal and opposite on the other side of the argument. Someone that wanted to do the right thing for her species, not a saber rattling warmonger. In Doctor Who terms, Russell Tovey's character plays the version of the Third Doctor in the Sea Devils, and Gugu Mbatha-Raw plays the moderate leader of the Sea Devils in the Sea Devils. It's that sort of relationship that they have. Obviously, we know it's never going to end well, unfortunately. And I loved the ending. I mean, Russell T Davies is almost synonymous for great writing, great characterizations, great builder, but not great ending. I thought he really stuck the landing on the ending of this one as well. It was very downbeat, very, very melancholic ending, and it didn't involve calling in Dave towards the end. They might just call in David Tennant's doctor just to give a grandstanding speech to sort it out, but no, it wasn't that sort of show. So from going from something that I didn't even think I was going to bother watching to thoroughly enjoying most of it, I think this is the most successful Doctor Who spin-off or the most successful piece of Doctor Who media that's been on since 2022. And I'll stop talking there.
Cool. But so loved your critique, James, but I'm going to go back, James, Ed even, but I'm going to go to James. That's where I was thinking ahead. I was thinking ahead. James, so I still haven't watched it though. Yeah, remember I haven't watched it. So what is the story? Tell me what's happening in the first episode. What's the setup?
Well, it's basically that long teased and never quite happening mass awakening of the sea devils or Homo Aqua. Although there's various subspecies that are referenced. Basically, it finally happens if you're finding bodies washed up. Units start investigating it, and then they're all awake. It has been a little while since I saw it, so I might get some of the final details wrong. But essentially, there's tensions all over the world because they're wondering whether they're going to go to war with humanity or not, and they have this huge organized peace conference, which is very impressively constructed. I mean, they have this underwater chamber with like a sea bridge that connects the dignitaries of Homo Aqua to this conference room where all the diplomats of the world are present, and they're trying to negotiate some kind of peace. Sea devils are rightly rather annoyed at the pollution of the waters. They've got a lot of their I don't know how they describe them, but like their children, their young have been poisoned, killed because of it. So there's a lot of tension going on, and Russell Tovey accidentally ends up as the spokesperson for humanity. He really doesn't want the role, but because of a humanitarian act that he was observed doing right at the start of the first episode, where they'd found a body and he paused to pay respect to it. He crossed himself, and it was observed, and they said because of that show of empathy, he was the only person that that Homo Aqua would deal with. So all of these grand dignitaries etc. were pushed out of the way, and he was made to conduct negotiations. Kate Lethbridge-Stewart is there. Really meaty take or role for her in this, because I think she's been kind of sidelined or just been there, just almost as window dressing for a lot of stories recently in Russell's second run. But she had a real good and deep role in this serial. She's trying to support, and she's like the bridge between Russell Tovey's character and the political machinations that are going on behind it. So as Ed said, you have all the national interests going on, all these acts of war, people, the two species trying to get the upper hand on each other. So that's basically the premise, and this relationship between Salt and Russell Tovey is continues to grow and has painful moments and etc. Throughout it. But as really everything Ed said, I think it's the best written piece of Doctor Who related stuff I've seen in a very long time. And I did not have very high hopes of it at all. I was kind of almost bored with the idea of it, which is horrible to say. But yeah, man, I was proved wrong. It was really, really exciting. Very, very dark. As Ed says, it's completely does without RTD's usual Deus Ex Machina ending where he has a magic button and everything goes back to normal. There really is none of that. There's consequences. Everybody feels them, and nobody is happy at the end. It's all really quite depressing. Kate is left in a very tortuous place mentally. She's clearly a very traumatized woman by the end of this. God knows, where her character will go from here if she returns to the main show. I do think the promise of this series wasn't a bad final episode at all. Although it was actually pretty good, but it was rushed. It probably could have done with having an extra episode, I think, because they were trying to pack so much into tie up all of the story strands in that last episode. It didn't quite work for me. And I don't want to give too many spoilers, actually, if you've not seen it. As a dad, I can't buy that Russell's character would quite so easily simply just abandon everything and run off to his final destination. It sticks in the craw a little in the same way the ending to Close Encounters of the Third Kind sticks in my craw. I just don't buy it. I get that he had to because of what was happening to him, but being very cryptic here. But it seemed a very easy decision for him, which I was disappointed in. But that's the only thing, because likewise with everything Ed said, I think I have been massively disappointed in Doctor Who as the main show for the last couple of years. I've been watching it out of a sense of duty, really. I haven't enjoyed very much of it at all, and some of it I've actively disliked, which I don't like saying, but it's true. And this actually felt like a return to form for RTD's writing. Maybe he's just freer without the shackles of the main show hanging over him. It was authentic, dark, genuine. The acting was amazing. The prosthetics, the redesign of the Sea Devils was, really, really well done. And yeah, I wasn't wholly happy with the conclusion, but it was a great show, and I would happily watch a second season of it.
Very good, very good. Well, I'm liking this. I'm liking the sound of it. So it's going to be on iPlayer then, clearly, yeah. How many episodes?
5.
Five
Five.
episodes, and each episode is how long?
Round about an hour, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, they're round about an hour, but I think the last episode's a bit longer, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah.
So not too long in the whole scheme of things. There's other programs I just sit and binge watch for just as long. So I think I'm gonna scores out of 10 then, gents.
James, you go first.
I will. Nothing's perfect, but it was great. I'll give it an 8.
Yeah, I'm going to echo what James says. It was a great story for me. James wanted an extra episode. I think it'd be better with one less episode. So the third episode for me just dragged. Almost just seemed to stop dead, and they were having a conversation in a diving bell going down for for me. It didn't seem to serve any purpose. But so that really spoiled the momentum for me. So it would have been a 9.5, but it's going to get an 8 for me as well. So well worth a watch.
Well, listeners, if like me, you haven't watched it, go and watch it. If you have watched it, maybe give your score out of 10 in the comments as well. And on that basis, and on that bombshell, I should say, actually, we've been Bowtie Sometimes Cool. Goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me.